Hi, I'm Professor Angela Rasmussen from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of Utah. And today I wanted to go over the video lecture setup. So the goal here is to understand how to set up a lecture for pre-recorded videos. And so this is where you'll have a video, you'll have some writing on PowerPoint or PDF, and you want to annotate that. And at the same time, you want to show your face in that video. And so this is the description for how to do that. First, I use a MacBook and an iPad. And I use a software on the iPad called Notability. And I like that because I am able to, so here's Notability, and I am able to import into this any PowerPoint. So I can actually go to my PowerPoint, and I use this PowerPoint as my title slide, but you can do a whole PowerPoint this way. On this, you would just go up to the file, you send a copy, you send with another app, and then you can select the Notability here. And then when you do that, it will ask you to add it to what you're already using in Notability, or you can create a new note, or you can add to another note. So this is nice. These are some nice features and very helpful. The same thing with a PDF. You can send the PDF from Dropbox. You can either send it to Notability and open it up that way, or you can import it through the plus button in Notability. You can also import photos from your photo library. You can take a picture right away on your camera. You can scan it. Or you can import it, as I said, through a PDF, through Dropbox. So if you went to Dropbox and say I wanted to import this, I would be able to, it's not displaying it for some reason, but then I can go to send this to Notability, and again, it gives me those options to add it to the note, or create a new note, or add to another note. And for some reason it's not finding that. Let's see if it will find this one. No. So anyway, it will work that way. The joys of technology sometimes doesn't always work. So I use Notability. The connection that I have, as you can see in this picture, is that I have the iPad. So I have the iPad, and then you can see the cord is a USB connection that is connecting here in the middle, and then I connect it to my MacBook here. So this is my iPad, my cord that connects the two together, and then as you can see, I just edited, and so any picture you have in this document, you can edit and write over. The other nice feature that I like about Notability is that you can cut a section of something and copy it, and then you can just paste that one section that you just copied. And so it will paste just the section that you had, and then if this is a schematic, that is nice because then you can then just work on one section of your schematic. So, so the setup is this, and then to record, I use what is called, well, QuickTime shows the iPad writing on the screen. So on my MacBook, so this is actually done on the MacBook. So the MacBook, I use the QuickTime. Again, in Notability, you can see I can type or I can write with my hand, either option. I can cut, I can paste, I can highlight. So it makes it very nice as you're doing lectures to be able to have lots of options of how you want to highlight information. So on QuickTime on the MacBook, it will show the iPad writing on the screen. So you don't use the QuickTime to record the presentation. You're going to start a new movie recording, and then you're going to change your camera to your iPad. So that is once you do the new movie recording, then you're going to change the camera to your iPad. And then you don't record anything through QuickTime. All you're going to do is use that as the window to show and display the image that's on the iPad. Then I use the screen recording software Active Presenter, and you can see the link is here. I turn off all other programs on the MacBook while I do this, and I also connect my power because it seems to drain power a lot. And then I select the record video option in Active Presenter. I use, there's a full screen or custom. I lock the application to QuickTime Player, and then it only takes a section of the screen itself. Make sure that your webcam is on and adjust things in the preview window and the audio for the MacBook. And then you just hit record, and then it records all this. And then you, once you do that, you're going to use the Active Presenter. Wrong one. Let's see. So on this is a video because I couldn't do them at the same time. So this is just showing my pre-recording of using the Active Presenter. And so it's quite easy to install. This is the Atomi Systems is the software or the company that makes it, and then you can just download it and install it per your system. And then it looks like this when you open the Active Presenter. You're going to do record video. That pop-up button comes up. I always deny it. And then you can see you can choose full screen there or custom. Again, I used custom for this recording. Make sure your webcam is on. And you can see that preview window, and then you can adjust things to move yourself around, you know, including to what you want to see in the background. And then you just hit that record button. And to stop it, you're going to hit, you can see up in the bar, there'll be a little A, and that's for the Active Presenter. And then this will come up and you can hit that stop recording to end the recording. And that will then get you back to the editing mode for Active Presenter. And so this is what you'll see the first time that you end the Active Presenter, and then you can adjust your face on the screen for what was recorded and put it in either location, top, bottom, wherever you want. I tend to, as you can even see in this screen, I have a lot of black on the left, so I then adjusted myself the next time I recorded to not have as much on the edge, and then I cut off kind of the right side. And you can see over on that left side, that's what you're going to see when it actually is exported. So you can move things around to cut things off in that recorded window if you want. And then from there, you're going to, let's see, 436, 610. So I just took notes of where in this video so you didn't have to watch the whole thing. So to export, let me go back a second. So there is the export button at the top, and then you're going to go to video. And then you have the options that come up here. I had my students change the resolution to 50% so the file size wasn't so big, but for us, we would probably want to keep that at 100%. You can then export the closed captions here. But a lot of times if you upload to YouTube, it will include them anyway, so that's not always as necessary. And then you can do either MP4 or AVI, whichever format you like. I use MP4 just because then I can replay it on QuickTime and it's easier to see. My QuickTime doesn't always recognize the AVI. So then you just save it. And as you save it, it is then going to process it. And I have found that it takes about the same amount of processing time as it did to record. So if you have a 20-minute video, it's probably going to take about 20 minutes to process it all. So you want to make sure you have enough time in there to do that. All the other editing takes about that same amount of time. So that takes a minute, and then you are done with that. And then you have your file. It's located. You can upload it then to either, opening the wrong one, back to Notability. And so on that, you can use iMovie, or you can use, so on the iPad, MacBook, it has that iMovie. And you can use either one. There's also Adobe Premiere, which is free for us if you want to download it to your MacBook. But I found with the Adobe Premiere that it's hard to, it's not intuitive exactly where you want to cut things, where you're, how to cut it, how to move it without taking a lot of time and energy. So that one took me a little bit more to learn how to use, where the iMovie was pretty easy to see. You can detach the audio and the video, you can keep them together. And then you just need to learn like how do you slice where you want to slice it, or if you want to trim the ends, or if you even want to add in an intro and an exit little piece. So I like iMovie just because of its quickness. On the iPad, I can then take iMovie and upload it directly to YouTube, and it's pretty fast processing. Or you can also upload to Canvas My Media. And so, you have different options. Canvas My Media is what the U in TLT is trying to get us to use, just because you'll always have that video available there. But you can keep it in YouTube also and just embed the video in your lectures. So also another note is just to turn off notification and put silence on both your computer and iPad. I tend to video, and then all of a sudden you hear this ringing and you have to record things. So anyway, that is the conclusion of this video, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.